A warm welcome to each one of you for the virtual session of Science Children. I hope you all are doing very well and you are maintaining your notebook also. Very much hopeful. So please do keep your notebook updated. Please take down points given in the video sessions to you all so that you keep the flow of the chapter and you know what's going on in the chapter. So let us see what are we going to have today. We are going to continue with the chapter Air Around Us, part 3. What are we going to learn in this session? Just a recap of the previous session. We have seen the constituents of air and we have seen the different composition of the various gases in the air, and you have learned about the composition, each and every gas, how they are important and how some of the gases act as a pollutant in the air. So let us see what are we learning in this session. We will see availability of oxygen in water and soil. So what oxygen is available for the living organism in water and soil. As you all know, all living organisms require oxygen for respiration. So in the air, if we are breathing, you are getting a direct oxygen for inhaling, and the respiration goes on. What happens when a living organism, as you all know, they survive in water as well as in soil? How oxygen reach to such organism? How is it possible for oxygen to be provided by the nature in the water as well as in the soil? As you all know, you have huge water bodies on earth, and we have millions of animal species in the water, which depends on oxygen. How do they survive? How do they get oxygen? Let us see. It is often asked how animals under the soil and in water are able to breathe. The answer is that both soil and water have air dissolved in them. So it is a dissolved oxygen in the water and in the soil which helps the living organism to survive. When we heat or boil water, we often notice that bubbles start to form. Have you ever noticed this, children? These bubbles are in fact an indication that air molecules are present in the air. And when air is heated, the air dissolved in it escapes, and first followed by water itself getting converted into vapor. This is how animals living underwater are able to respire. So they actually respire with the dissolved oxygen in the water. And a very good example is fish. How fish survive, how they breathe in oxygen with the help of the respiratory organ naturally present in them is gills, and they respire with the help of gills, and they take up dissolved oxygen in water. And we take them out of water, they will die because they are not able to respire out of water. They are aquatic animals. So this is how a very good example of fish. They require oxygen and they get it from the dissolved oxygen in the water. Here you can see when you boil water, air bubbles can be seen when water is heated. So these air bubbles, you can see air is in the dissolved form in water. That is oxygen. Just have a look. So to see the presence of water in the soil, we take a small lump of it in a beaker and add water to it. We see bubbles coming out of it, which we discussed. This is a proof of the existence of the air molecules in the soil. So it is not only in water but also in the soil. We can do one experiment like this, and we can see the air bubbles coming out, which shows the presence of air in the soil. So as water is added, it displaces the water molecules in the soil, which we see in the form of bubbles. Animals make use of this air to breathe under the soil. So this is how animal will breathe air in the soil and they can survive. Some animals make holes and burrows in the soil to help make pathways for air to enter the soil. So they actually make burrows and the holes for the air to enter the soil, which helps them to breathe in. And when it rains heavily, earthworms and other animals come out of the soil because these pathways get blocked by the water and they need to come outside to find the air to breathe. So very good example of earthworm coming out of the burrows because they require air directly from the atmosphere, and it has to reach to the soil. So they actually come out to breathe the oxygen from the environment. And you can see during the rainy season, the burrows and the holes get blocked with water, and they cannot respire with the help of dissolved oxygen in the water. They have to come out to take up oxygen from the air itself. That's why you can see them all over during rainy season. Such a good example. I hope you are writing all this in your notebook, children. So you can see air particles present in soil. Here it is magnified on the right hand side. You can see a plant on the left hand side with the soil, plant on the soil you can see. On the right hand side you can see air particles present in the soil, magnified on the right hand side. The soil consists of 45% minerals, 25% of the air holes. You can see there are holes which allow the air to enter. 25% water and 5% organic matter. So this is the composition of the air, and the air particles you can see in the soil helps the plants to get aerated, or the living organism inside the soil will get air to breathe. Just have a look at this. Balance of oxygen in the atmosphere. So as we continuously breathe in oxygen, so how the oxygen is being maintained in the atmosphere? Because the natural composition of oxygen is 21%, that has to be regulated, or that has to be maintained. How that has to be balanced, that required to be balanced, how that can be balanced? If we continuously consume oxygen, then the percentage of oxygen in the air will become low, and definitely it will adversely affect our health. We won't get sufficient oxygen to breathe in. But this will not happen. How? It is a common knowledge that humans and animals can't survive without plants, because they produce oxygen. Why? Because they do photosynthesis, and they give out lots of oxygen in the air. That's why we should never do deforestation. We should avoid uprooting plants, cutting down trees, because they are very much useful to us. They are a lifeline for us. They give out lots of oxygen in the air, which help us to breathe, to respire. And they do continuously, they do photosynthesis during daytime with the help of carbon dioxide. They take up carbon dioxide, which is not required to us, which is harmful to us. So they are helping us by taking up carbon dioxide and giving out oxygen in the air during the process of photosynthesis. So that's why we should grow more and more trees and plants. And this is how the balance of oxygen in the environment is maintained through the respiratory process of plants and animals. So oxygen given out by the plants during photosynthesis. During respiration, what happens? Plants also take up oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. And even animals, they take up oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. But for plants, they give out more oxygen than carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. So respiration, very little amount of carbon dioxide is given out by plants, and more of oxygen is given out by plants. That's why we should grow more plants. And respiration also happens in plants and animals. During that process, the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide is maintained in the nature. The importance of air. Air has a number of uses. As you must have learned all these in the previous session, the composition of the air, and how the presence of oxygen in the air help us to breathe, to survive. So that is how you know how air is so important to us. Let us see some points here. Please do write in your notebook. Air has a number of uses. The air which is in motion is known as wind. You all know the blowing of the wind, the movement of the air is actually wind. So the wind is important for the rotation of the windmills, which help in drawing water from tube wells. So windmill is a setup with the help of which we can draw water from the tube wells. This wind energy can be used for many other purpose also, not only for drawing water from tube wells. This also help in running flour mills. Windmills are also used to produce electricity. As I told you, lots of application of the windmills. Insects and birds are only able to fly because of the presence of air. Boats, yachts, aeroplanes, and parachutes also need air to sail and glide. Air has very important role to play in the water cycle as well. So such a important role of the air in our life, here you can easily make out. It has various purposes, various applications. Without air, just life cannot be possible on earth. Not only helping in breathing in oxygen, so many other purposes fulfill in a day-to-day life with the help of air. Insects and birds, they will fly because of the air. If there is no air, they cannot fly, so they eventually they will die. And all the other purposes, you can see the importance of the air. Please do write in your notebook, children. So here you can see a windmill in action, and this helps to generate electricity. A flour mill works on this electricity. Windmill has lots of application. It helps in generating energy which can be converted into different form, so into electrical energy, and that electrical energy can be so very useful. You just have a look at the windmill over here, children. So it also helps in distributing the pollens and seeds from the flower of various plants. So one very important use of the air, please under that notes which you have already written, please put this point. This is a very important point, that's why I highlighted here that they help in transferring pollens and seeds from the flowers of various plants, which will help to give us variety and of plants. They grow in abundance just because of the transfer of the pollen grains and seed. Otherwise, the production, the growth of the plants, the abundance of the plants which we have will not be possible. So this is how air plays such a important and such a big role in our life. You can see air helps birds and insects to fly. Just have a look. You all know how they fly because the presence of the air. So here we come to an end of the session, children. I hope the session was interesting to you all. Please do write points in your notebook wherever mentioned in the video, and keep your notebook updated. Thank you, children, and have a great day.